say, today we're going to teach you about baseball. You know, they went on strike. My dad, he loves football. You know why he loves football? You know, they call those nuclear things, those nuclear stuff, they call them footballs. It says, don't ever lose the football, and you never want to push that button. So my dad, he liked watching football, but the football players, they all went on strike, because there's we're not going to drop bombs on anybody, we're going to give them education. So you guys were wondering, why they all suffer together. Those football players, they got on strike, and they start taking away their paychecks and stuff, just like the military personnel, So they're like, okay, we'll all go on strike. So the football players, they went on strike. My dad's like, man, I can't believe they went on strike. I don't watch football no more. He said, nobody watch football no more. It's the Navy Football League, the Navy Football League, like Trident missile submarines with nuclear missiles and stuff. We're not shooting missiles, man. We're shooting off education, man, wisdom in every direction. So it's like, okay, well, let's give them a penny for their thoughts. Well, we're not going to stop until we get every last cent, every last cent, like the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's like every last cent, every last cent message from God. And that comes with education and the children of God, and we're going to get them all on the same page to make many pages, many sentences and paragraphs for stories. And we go, man, educational stories, let's help them out. Where's your agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., man? Here's your penny. We're going to give you a baseball. I like a baseball. Baseball went on strike, and I stopped watching baseball because baseball was a great American pastime. So pass all time and space with a diamond like this, man. I'm going to show you, okay? Now we had who's on first, what's on second, it was like a cliche, nobody got it. I was talking about this will go, so I figured maybe I should do a little video. So, well, we had the Kentucky coal miners, You guys hear about those Kentucky coal miners? My mom, she was from Kentucky, my mother, I think she was from Georgia, I'm not sure, So, you got a GK movement, I was like, yeah, man, I said, okay, here we go. You got a penny for your thoughts. And it said, you got 3/4, 3/4. Yeah, man, 3/4, like 3/4 of the story, man. You gotta have the guy, the guy that does the thing. I don't know, maybe the guy under the Brooklyn Bridge, So Governor Cuomo, he says, hey, Cuomo, yeah, Cuomo, Governor Cuomo from New York. He's like, man, they talk really bad about New Yorkers and all kind of other states, the Congress people, we got all these languages and stuff all over the world we got to talk about and trying to make these deals, and nobody even understand, so it's like, what a congressman have to go through every day and a congresswoman, and plus the Senate, man. And then they got to look at that stuff, and then the president, I'm like, man, you don't understand politics, churches, and peoples. It's like, okay, so we got 3/4 of the story, We must get some research and development, man. You got to make diamonds. Well, we got black history too, So we had the Kentucky coal miners. They were digging the coal and making diamonds and stuff. And like, oh, man. So what are we going to do? He says, well, maybe if we stop, digging in the coal mines where the mountains were caving in on people. You mean, digging in the coal mines and the mountains were caving in on people and it was killing people? Yeah, how do you think the North and the South went to war, man? So he's like, we got to stop that kind of stuff. So he's like, okay, we'll make a black roads out of asphalt, and say, we'll make a black roads, and then maybe they don't fight anymore, and they go, we got all kind of new roads for education. He says, wow, like a tourism system. Well, everybody said they couldn't afford education, man, so we put together the space go system, It's like we got a space program, we got tourism, we got education everywhere, and they say you can't make mountains out of molehills, man, but the mountains, they can send our mountain boys down to you and we'll teach you some stuff, It says, look, we got a hill there, They said they put Jesus on the hill because he was just educating, saving the United States. So it says, which hill? Because we got a hill here, and the truckers are like, man, they're talking with each other all over the country, spreading the word, man. It's like the good news, yeah, the good news, man. And it's like the GNs, yeah, they're the good news, or the national good, man. You say the NIV, it's the national intelligence version. So we got this hill and that hill and that hill and that hill. We got a hill over there, and we got a lot of dirt mounds, They used to say, hey, the pitcher's mound, out there in the middle of the field. Well, which one's pitching the deals, man? We got a pitch for this, a pitch for that, and we got a pitch for this. All kind of tourism ideas, man. Who want to jump on a ball, man? We got a pitch here, we got a pitcher there, we got a pitcher there, we got a pitcher there. How many mountain bears you need, man? It's like, okay, Smokey the Bear came down from Tennessee. Okay, cool. Then he says, oh, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll go back to the mountain and talk to his grandmother. He says, hey, come back down here and say, hey, who wants to play ball now, man? This is some baseball. We got a this base, or that base, or that base, and that pitcher's mound. You know, who want to get a good base together, man, and say, oh, let's do something cool. Okay, let's show them how it works. We say, well, you got a diamond over here, and I don't know why teachers don't teach like this anymore, but we say, we got a penny over here, we got a quarter there, quarter there. Well, we went to Olympics, and everybody said eugenics. Eugenics. Yeah, man, eugenics. They're like, maybe we could breed better brains, you know, and better bronze and all this other stuff. And that's not what God intended. He says, well, we got this sports thing, and everybody started gambling, you know. Well, you know, the Indians, they thought you shouldn't be gambling, you know, especially with the words of God, you know. That's like people, you know. They got the word over here, the word over there. You got the word over here, the word over there. And he says, man, people are gambling with God. And I was like, no, you shouldn't be doing that. So he says, well, you know, it's supposed to be sports, you know, sportsmanship. They call it good sportsmanship, you know. See? Seek God, you know. You know, say SG1, you know, okay. The GATE program, Stargate, you know, SG1, seek God, you know. It's like, okay, cool. The good system? Yeah, the good system. You know, you want to reverse and change. They're like, hey, we got this stuff, you know. People make a rap songs, it's like this and that, and you can't understand them. It's like, man, you know, hip-hop was about, you know, making folk tunes, you know, and education. And then we had country music, man. So you get a 20 on that? Okay, here we go. Let's get a diamond, huh? Let's say we had the Olympics, you know. You had a first place up top, you know, like mountain time. You had second place over here on the one side of the mountain, and then you had third place on the other side of the mountain. And like, how do you get over the mountain to talk to the thing? It's like, well, you know, people had to climb the mountain and go over, and to get over the hump, you know, to get on the other side and say, hey, talk to you, hey, you know, talk to you, like an east or west of the United States, you know, kind of thing. And it's like, man, it's like a big wall of China, the China virus. It's like, well, you know, they got free education in China, so the China virus, you know, we let that back crazy people, you know, so we do a China virus in the United States. It says, well, now we're giving them free education in the United States, man. It's like, man, okay, crazy cool, you're public school, man. Hey, is that a PS for you? You know, psychological solutions or what, man? It's like, well, everybody paying millions of dollars, the doctors and stuff can't figure it out, so we send a genius kid in there and he says, hey, when you wake up, maybe we'll do that. Well, you know, somebody tried to drug him again. It's like a triple coma. So it says, all right, so satellite people, they got together with the aliens and said, we'll make a movie called Inception. Maybe we plant an idea in his head, we run him around like a robot. They said, well, that's a bad idea because that boy's a genius. And says, oh, when he wakes up, he's going to tell you about it. And I said, we tried to warn you. You know, a bunch of them judges got together and they're like, we're going to have a grand old party. And he says, why? Because, you know, people of God. If you turn around in Hebrew, you go P-O-G, people of God. And he said, oh, man, yeah, like the Guardians, man. He says, okay, cool. Well, let's tell them about it. Well, we got a penny over here. That's for America. And you got, you know, a little quarter over here, a little quarter over there, a little quarter over there. That's like 3 quarts. 3 quarts. Well, you got the local court, okay? And then you got the state court. And then you got the big Supreme Court of the United States, okay? And now we're going to play baseball, okay? And we got a penny over here for your thoughts. And we got a one place over here. And if you stand over here, you know, you stand like a chief justice, you know, go down, you know, I mean, there's a penny over there. But a lot of people in a lot of countries, you know, they don't understand a penny over there is important. And we go, well, you know, you look at this direction, you got the left and you got the right. So he's standing down here, and this is like we the people, man. I mean, we the people. This is where you got Congress and you got Senate, you know. And back in the day, it was kind of racist, you know. It's like, hey, you got a black people Congress and you got a white people Senate. You know, they don't put that in the history books because, you know, lack of communication, they get mad about it. So it's like, okay, now we put it out there, you know. So we say white and black people Congress, and Spanish people too, you know, like a Trinity. And then we'll go over here and we'll say white and black people and Spanish people too, you know, like a Trinity, you know. And now we got a triangulation, right? Now, remember the pyramids, you know, the pyramids, okay? Well, if Jesus turned the world upside down, you get, you know, back in the day, we used to put 3 pennies, man, and we'd hit it, and the 2 pennies would spread apart, and then whoosh, try to go for the goal line, you know? I'm going to say easy stuff, you know, it's like Connect 4, you know? Someone tried Connect 4 and people didn't get it, and they're like, what about Battleship? You know, they could just start guessing and dropping bombs and stuff. Well, that was kind of a game to remind you of the history, you know, people didn't understand, so it's like, okay, cool. So we go over here, and you're standing here, you know? And we're like, well, there was a penny over there, man, you know? There's a lot of pennies, you know? We need every penny we can get because, you know, it's a penny for your thoughts, right? And then there's a quarter for the first place, you know, because you should have known that in the first place. And then you come up here to the second base and you're like, man, the second base? He's, yeah, the second base, you know, because if you're grounded in the Word of God, then you got to look up to the angels and go, oh, man, there's an International Space Station up there now. Well, that's the second place, man. You know, up there in the sky. And then we got third place for research and development. You know, if we do the right research and development, we could travel to other places in the space, you know, which is a multiverse of the universe. I go, man, yeah, the Trinity, see? Ground control, air patrol, space agencies. Now you guys getting it? Okay, we got it, okay? Now you go to the third place, you know, and then you go, oh, that must be the research and development. Well, you know, if you look at the research and development now, you got a different kind of angle. So you got to, right? And you triangulate that. Now we're spinning the cube around trying to get combinations, and we're going, let's get a parachute. Oh, paratroopers? Yeah, man. Paratroopers, you know, like the road troopers, you know. And then we got the sky troopers and the space troopers, you know. Look, the ducks are going to come tell you about it in a minute. Look, we got a parachute. And this little guy over here, he's got a penny for your thoughts. Because, you know, we pledge our lives, you know, our families and our fortunes, okay? And we spend all our money to try to help people, so that's why we're so broke. So you see a broke person, you know, maybe it's because they spend all their money trying to help you. And they go, man, it's like 2 ducks over here, man. You know, Duck Dynasty said, hey, you called for help, man. We sent you some ducks and some little birdies. He says, okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 sides of the compass, plus the 4 pieces of that's a diamond in the sky, man. Okay, so you got 4, 5, 6, you know. Hey, if you're seeking for God and flight training, you know, we got some Top Gun flight school for you, man. Even Mother Nature loves it, okay? You see? Look at it, shaking her head, yes. Hey, can you get them around it? Yeah, can you get them around it? All the way down? Yeah, oh, yeah. See, kind of like the Florida Peninsula. It's like, hey, can you get some of that down there in the south of Florida, you know, in their peninsula down there? Because they need to know that stuff down there, too. Okay. We'll get all our ducks and kids in a row, okay? We'll get them single file going to school. Okay. Hey, that's a thumbs up. Thanks, man. I appreciate that.